Hello, white people. Our economy has taken a nosedive. Well, since about 2008, we really haven't recovered from the last recession. A lot of businesses are closing. A lot of businesses that seem like they would be around forever and ever are closing. So if you want to stay ahead of the game, you have to understand what happens during a recession. Right now, you're probably struggling. A lot of people are really struggling because they haven't really thought about what they're going to do in this economy. So let's talk about this economy, and harder times are ahead, folks. So it's really important that we get our battle plans together and plan to have an income during downtimes. Even though we may have our preps ready to go and we can survive maybe a year or 2 years without anybody helping us or any sort of an income, but we still need to have an income no matter what. We don't want to be flat ass broke. All right, recessions are hard on everyone, aren't they? Actually, just as wars have their war babies, companies that perform well during times of conflict and suffer during peace, recessions have their tough offspring as well. In this article, we'll take a look at the industries that flourish in the adversity of a recession and why they do so well when everyone else is struggling to make ends meet. Discount retailers. It makes sense that as budgets feel the strain of an economic downturn, people turn to the stores that offer the most for the least. Discount retailers like Walmart stores do well at any time, but they can suffer in periods of prosperity as people flush with money buy higher quality goods at other outlets. To remain competitive, these retailers are forced to upgrade their product lines and change the focus of their business from thrift to quality. Their products suffer from either lost sales or less margin on the goods they sell. In hard times, however, these retailers excel by going back to core products and using vast economies of scale to give cheap goods to consumers. Designers and producers of lower-end products also see an upswing as more people jump from brand names to generics to make their paychecks go further. People may not like discount retailers, but in a recession, most end up shopping there. Walmart's net income rose in 2008, 2009, and 2010, the toughest years following the subprime mortgage and financial crisis. See? Sin industries. In bad times, the bad do well. Although it seems a little counterintuitive, people patronize the sin industries more during a recession. In good times, these same people might have bought new shoes, a new stereo, or other big-ticket items. In bad times, the desire for comforts doesn't leave. It simply scales down. People will pass on the stereo, but a nightly glass of wine, a pack of cigarettes, or a chocolate bar are small expenditures that help hold back the general malaise that comes with being tight on cash. Be warned, though, not all sin businesses prosper in a recession. Gambling is an extravagance that generally declines, for example. In fact, casinos do their best trade when the economy is roaring and everyone feels lucky. The most prosperous businesses in this industry are the purveyors of small pleasures that can be bought at a gas station or convenience store. Selected services. Expect a downturn in this service industry in recessionary times. As companies and families are willing to take on more work themselves to save money, a certain class of service providers will see an upswing during hard times, though. Companies that specialize in repairing, upgrading, and maintaining existing equipment and products thrive as more clients focus on working with what they have rather than buying something new. In the real estate industry, they say renovators hire as buyers fire. This holds true for many other industries as well. All right, so let's back up here. So repairing things, repairing shoes, repairing cars, repairing homes, any sort of electronic, whether it be the computer, the lawnmower, the radio, anything. If you can do any of that, just get out there, put your card on doors, knock on doors, talk to people, get to know people. So if you are somebody that people know, like, and trust, whenever they have a problem, you will be the first person that they call. Make sure you have those kinds of relationships. The statics, in a recession, simply carrying on with business as usual can be an achievement. Pharmaceuticals, Healthcare companies, tax service companies, grave diggers, waste disposal companies, and many others are in a category that, while not jumping ahead during a recession, can plod along while other companies suffer. This is simply because people get sick, get taxed, and die, not always in that order, no matter what the state of the economy. Sometimes the most boring businesses offer the most consistent, but in context, exciting returns. The benefits of recession. The biggest benefit of hard times is that companies get hurt for inefficiencies that they left off in better times. A recession means general fat trimming for companies from which they should emerge stronger, and that's good news for investors. All right, so if you work for a company and you're and you're not pulling your weight, you're going to be the first to go. Make sure you're a great employee. One of the best signs is a company in a hard-hit industry that is expanding anyway. For example, McDonald's Corporation continued to grow in the 1970s during a downturn, even though restaurants generally suffered as people cooked rather than going out to eat. Similarly, Toyota Motor Corp was opening new American plants in the 1990s downturn when the big three were closing theirs due to falling sales for new cars. A recession can be a blessing for investors, as it is much easier to spot a strong company without the noise of a strong economy. The bottom line, although it is good to know which companies excel in a recession, investing according to economic cycles can be difficult. If you do invest this way, be ready to readjust your portfolio before the economy rebounds, as it will stem the advances the recession-proof industries have made. Some of the companies performing well in a recession will also perform well in recovery. Others will change their business to take advantage of the upturn. Many, though, will lose ground to companies that tend to race ahead in bull market, financial firms, technology outfits, and other fast-moving industries with the proper timing. However, buying those in the recession sector can provide a buffer within your portfolio while you wait for your high flyers to take off. All right, that's it. All right, internet friends and white people, thanks for listening.